You want to tone the vagus nerve. You want to find balance in your life. You want to support your chakra system. You want to make sure that your energy is cleared and aligned and that you're vibrating at a higher rate. So I created this video for you, and we're going to begin stoking the fire. So go ahead, get your mat out, and let's get started and get the fire in your body moving. Welcome, I'm Tina Brigitini, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and do so. It really helps out. Like the video as well. Very much appreciated. Let's ignite the digestive fire, clear the mind, and awaken personal power. Sit comfortably with a tall spine, your hands resting on your knees or on your belly. Begin with a few deep breaths in and out through your nose. And when ready, inhale deeply and then begin the breath of fire. Short, rapid, rhythmic exhales through the nose as the belly pumps inward naturally. Keep your spine tall, chest lifted. Eyes can gently close or focus at the third eye. And let this breath stoke your internal flame. Imagine golden fire building in your core with each exhale. And then repeat to yourself, I burn away what no longer serves. I awaken my willpower. You can continue as long as you wish. 1 to 3 minutes is suggested. And then slow the breath down, return to normal, and feel the heat and the clarity moving through you. Let's move into the chair pose. This is to build strength, stamina, and confidence. Activates the root and the solar plexus connection, bridging the elements of earth and fire. Rise to standing, bring your feet, hips, hip-width apart. Inhale, raise your arms over your head or place your palms together at your heart center. Exhale, bend the knees deeply and sink into chair pose as if sitting into a flame beneath you. Feel the burn, not just in the muscles, but in your commitment to stay present. With each breath, anchor down through the feet. Lift the crown of your head. Draw power up from the earth into your core. Your gaze is soft and focused forward. And now feel into your power. I am strong. I am rooted. I am unwavering. 30 to 60 seconds is plenty, and rise slowly with an inhale and exhale fully. All right, and welcome. You've got your fire stoked, and now we're going to go gently into learning each one of the postures and how it's actually balancing you on an emotional and a physical level for each of the postures. So go ahead, let's get started. And before we get started, I just want to let you know that the videos that you're about to see is a compilation of many of the videos I've done over the years for Polarity Yoga. The entire session will last about an hour. So you can do this in segments. You'll see the chapters down below. If you want to just skip to one, if there's a particular element that you want to bring into balance, just simply go to that element. Polarity Yoga does not need to be done for an hour, but you can do it for an hour. But if you choose just to do 2 minutes, go ahead and find the posture that works for you, that's most appropriate in each moment. And the more you go through this video, the more you will remember. And then you can just do these throughout the day. 1, 2 minutes is all that's required. All right, see you soon. The preparatory squat is working with the elements of water and air. So before you begin, remember that you want to honor your body. If you have any knee challenges, you may want to just do this with intention from a chair. So don't go ahead and overextend yourself. It's never about proving anything or hurting your body. Much of it is about intention. And the intention here is to stretch the leg and the buttock muscles while strengthening. But it's also about gradually moving through the descent into the squat and noticing all areas of tension and then just moving through them. What you'll do is extend your arms out for balance, raise and lower the body, bending at the knees, and gradually lowering yourself into a squat position. Next, the twisting Ha. Clearing the anger, the emotional congestion, stuck fire, activating the core and the voice. From standing, feet wide apart, bring your hands to just above your knees. Inhale in the center, twisting to the left. Ha. Forcefully saying Ha as you twist. Inhale back to center, exhale to the right. Ha. Continue to repeat that rhythmically. This is not about force, it's about release. And let the voice be your clearing. Let go through the sound. Use the Ha to release any cords to what you may be carrying. Clear the fire that has been stuck inside. 1 to 2 minutes is plenty. Complete with the lion's roar. You can do this kneeling, sitting, palms on your thighs. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale through an open mouth. And with a loud roar, stick out your tongue, eyes wide. Release the sound from your belly. This is not performance. It is liberation. Let the lion speak. Let the fire move. Your voice matters. Your power is sacred. And then return to silence when you are complete. Hands on heart or belly and just breathe. Witness the energy within. And repeat silently, I honor my fire. I am clear, I am powerful, I am whole. All right, and welcome. You've got your fire stoked. And now we're going to go gently into learning each one of the postures and how it's actually balancing you on an emotional and a physical level for each of the postures. So go ahead, let's get started. The seesaw rock is the element of fire. The intention is to release neck tension, head tilt, cervical vertebrae, radial plexus, and respiration. This also tones the psoas and strengthens after a heart attack. Your attention is to focus to the areas of resistance. The effort is to lie straight out on the floor, on a soft mat or carpet. Follow the breath, let go of thought and worries. Cross your ankles and bring your feet up to the buttocks. Firmly grasp your thighs. This reflexes to your neck and rock back and forth. Have fun with this one, as you see that I have done. the resting wide squat, the element of ether and water. The intention is to allow the pelvic energy to release, to stimulate flow with a gentle rocking, to just feel and experience and rest in your own space. Your attention is on the breath and your forehead. And the effort is to be in a wide squat. You may also do this just sitting. Placing your elbows inside your thighs, make a light fist, and rest your head on your fist, placing your thumbs to the inside brow points. And let your body relax into this posture. Gently rock back and forth and breathe into the pelvis. Letting go of all thoughts and images of the past, present, and future. On the cliffhanger, this is the element of air. This is wonderful for the shoulders to release the neck, the brachial plexus, any spinal tension, opening up the chest and the lungs, releasing gas. Balances the nervous system and stimulates digestion. Your attention is in the breath, the sound, and your shoulders. You want to stand with your back facing a supporting table or chair. Make sure it's a safe table or chair. It's not going to move. And just place your hands firmly on the surface behind you. Allow your body to begin to drop down, keeping your feet flat on the floor. And exhale, let the legs relax. And using your arms, taking all the weight off of your lower body, and slowly lower your body with your arms. Let your neck relax so your head tilts forward just a bit. Inhale, using your arms, pushing your body up with your chest. Pause and repeat. This is a wonderful exercise to opening up your heart. The squat and squeeze is the element of water, air, and earth. To release the muscle tension in the hip joints, the brachial plexus, the vertebrae, colon, gases, constipation, heart, and kidneys. Also puts the spring back in your step. The focus is to your shoulders, the brachial plexus, the hips, the breath, and the sound. And I'm demonstrating this one here from a seated position. You can go into a squatted position, and that is actually shown in the actual workbook. Or you can just do it from a seated position. Just wrap your arms around your knees, hold one wrist with the other. And what you want to do is inhale fully so that you're stretching from the inside out. Use the breath and sound and expand between the shoulder blades. Pull the arms in to get further energy release. Exhale and fully relax the arms with a moan or a ha. And repeat several times. This is wonderful for stimulating the colon. And this is head molding. The elements are fire and air. And your intention is to release head tension. This is a very light contact with the palms of your hand. And what you're doing is you're actually separating the sutures in the bones of your head. You release head tension and allow the natural energy to flow. This also releases and stimulates the energies of the abdomen. Now with this one, it's nice to do a nice humming pitch because the sound will actually vibrate the bones and help to release any tension of the head. Your attention is in the breath. Now you can do this from either a sitting position or a squatting position, whatever is more comfortable for you. Place the heels of your hands over the sides of your head, interlock your fingers, and focus on locating tension and hold. Inhale fully with your intention in the areas of any tension and rock your body. Exhale and find a humming pitch which vibrates the bones of your skull, at the same time firmly squeezing the skull with your hands. Release, move your hands around, and repeat as needed. Elbows out, squat. It's the element of air. The intention is to release the shoulders, the scapula, the brachial plexus. Attention is to be either in the breath or under the scapula. You want to get into a wide squat and place your arms folded horizontally in front of you. Look straight ahead. Inhale, keeping your arms folded and your body still, and move your elbows out to the side as far as you can, looking in the same direction. And you may also look in the opposite direction. Change sides and repeat as often as you desire. And the wide squat. This is the element of water and air. Your intention here is to release the hip joints, the vertebrae, your sacroiliac joints, to release any pelvic energy, to ease the kidneys, to tone and increase the elasticity of muscles, especially sagging buttocks. Your attention is on the hips, the pelvic floor, and any areas of resistance. To move into a wide squat, your elbows placed inside the thighs. You can make a light fist and clasp it with your other hand. Inhale, turn your forearms up and apart, causing the stretch to the inner thighs and the buttocks. And just simply rock back and forth to release any stagnant energy. The emphasis is made by gently pushing out the knees by rocking. And groan and har as desired. This is great for muscle spasms, unexpressed emotions, back problems, and the ability to focus. The scissor kick is the element of water. The intention is to open the sinuses, the nostrils, relief of head colds, stuffy feelings, and to stimulate the sacral area, to tone muscle and stimulate energy flow from and through the lower body. It enhances the flow of the cerebral spinal fluid. The attention is in the breath, the hips, the ankles, and the feet. And the effort is you lie face down on the floor. You'll notice that little kids do this all the time, with plenty of room to swing your legs out and cross over the other. You're going to bend your knees apart. Place your forehead in the cup of your hands. or rest your head as you prefer. Breathe naturally and flick your feet out. Flick them back and forth, crisscrossing each time. And you can go either fast or slow. Going faster will actually stimulate energy. Going slow is very calming and relaxing. And it's a really nice thing to do if you wake up in the middle of the night. If you want to get yourself back to sleep, just do this very slowly. Diaphragm release is the element of air and water. The intention is to release gas under the sternum, to release and tone the diaphragm, the back, and abdominal muscles, to free the heart to act without fear and apprehension. A wonderful exercise to do here is to place your hand on your abdomen and just take a breath in. And just notice where the breath drops to. And then do the exercise. And then check where your breath drops to after you've opened up the diaphragm. You'll be amazed at how much lower the breath goes. Your attention is on the sternum, the breath, and the sound. Just placing your heels shoulder width apart, your toes pointing out a bit, knees slightly bent. Place your fingertips under your ribs, beginning at the V. So leave a little space so that you can actually push your fingertips underneath your ribs. Inhale as fully as you can to expand the abdomen. And as you exhale, deepen your fingertips under the ribs to release any tension. And you'll just continue to work down your rib cage. This posture can also be done laying down on the floor and raising your legs. It may be a little more difficult that way, but it's another option. The resting wide squat, the element of ether and water. The intention is to allow the pelvic energy to release, to stimulate flow with a gentle rocking, to just feel and experience and rest in your own space. Your attention is on the breath and your forehead. And the effort is to be in a wide squat. You may also do this just sitting. Placing your elbows inside your thighs, make a light fist, and rest your head on your fist, placing your thumbs to the inside brow points. And let your body relax into this posture. Gently rock back and forth and breathe into the pelvis. Letting go of all thoughts and images of the past, present, and future. And as we continue here for this next part, I'm going to take you through an entire session. At the same time, I am showing you how you can modify each of these postures. I just want to make sure that if you have any kind of challenges, knees, hips, just modify the postures. This is not about perfection. It is just about intention. You can do these from a chair. So honor your body as we move through all of the Polarity Yoga postures. We're about to start a full session of Polarity Yoga, and I want to go over a couple things with you first. One of those is the breath. And there's two types of breaths. One of them is what's considered natural breathing, and that is when you just take a nice breath in and allow your abdomen, just allowing the breath to just drop to your abdomen. So it's the way that you're typically breathing. So we'll just do a couple of nice breaths just to start. So nothing big, but notice that when you're taking a breath in, you're just allowing the breath to drop down to your lower abdomen, and then exhale. And when you exhale, your abdomen naturally contracts. It's pushing the breath out. The breath and sound is just as important as the movement that we're about to do. Now, the other breath is when you breathe in, but you're contracting your abdomen, so you're more filling the lungs. So we'll try a couple of those. You feel that? So you're contracting your abdomen, and then your lungs expand, and then you exhale, and your abdomen expands. All right. And so do a couple of those just to practice. And what you want to do is, while you're doing any of the postures, is just practice with both types of breaths. Sometimes you'll find that it's a little more difficult to do like what's considered the reverse breathing, which was the second that we just did, and that's filling the lungs and contracting the abdomen. All right. The other that I want to demonstrate today is using a stool, because you can use a stool or a chair, and either way, when you're doing Polarity Yoga, it's about intention, not about perfection. So just remembering, it's about intention, not perfection. All right, now I'm going to demonstrate just a couple of these postures. Let's imagine that you were going from a standing position and using the preparatory squat. So I'm going to just back up just a tad so I can get my face out of the sun, possibly. Okay, let's do it from here. All right, and a little further back, but let's say you were going into a preparatory squat. You would just be putting your arms out and just using your intention that you're descending through all areas of tension, and then bringing your body down to a seated position. And from this seated position, we can do so much. Now, just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to go and just show you the spinal stretch, side spinal stretch. So if you were seated, it's just a matter of taking your hands, hooking them underneath the occipital ridge, and just giving yourself a little tug. So you can just do a little gentle traction forward, dropping your head as much as you would like. You literally can just lean straight over, and you want to get the muscles of the spine to just start opening up. And what this is really doing is it's releasing the cerebral spinal fluid that gets caught in the cranial bones, and it just pools. And you want to get that flow in the cerebral spinal fluid, because that has everything to do with the parasympathetic nervous system and the ability to relax. And from the spinal stretch, you can just go straight into a side spinal stretch, and that's just taking your right hand, hooking it under the occipital ridge on the opposite side, and giving that a nice stretch, side spinal stretch, and again, the opposite side. Now, if you wanted to do well, I'll show you, I'm going to demonstrate a couple of others. You can just take your hands, and we're going to just do this twist. So you're just looking straight ahead, twisting your body as much as you can. And these modifications are for anybody that has any challenges with their knees, sometimes hips, depending on what your physical ability is. You just want to honor what you're able to do. And That's more important than anything else because it's not about hurting yourself. All right, so let's say you did a couple of these, and we're opening up the brachial plexus when we do this. Remember to breathe in the center and twist and twist. And right from here, you can just turn your hands so that they're clasping onto each wrist, and then just raise them over your head. And remembering to breathe and exhale as you come down. The inhalation as you raise your arms up. And exhale. And this one here, what I'm doing is using reverse breathing. Now I'm going to try it with natural breathing. And it's very different. And now for demonstration, and you can do these as long as you wish. A lot of what I'm doing right now is just to demonstrate how easy it is to do these postures in a chair, which means that if you have a job where you're working at a desk, you can easily do a couple of postures. It's really important because technically we should not be sitting down for more than an hour. So just getting out of your chair and stretching during the day is really helpful. And then I'm going to demonstrate just doing a wide squat. So what we can do is just come to the edge of the chair and place our hands above our knees. And just feel as though your sacrum is sinking into the earth. And feel the stability of your feet planted on the ground. Because the pyramid is all about earth. It's all about your stability, your groundedness, your sense of security in the world. And right from here, we could just start bringing our shoulder in and looking over the opposite shoulder. So now you're beginning to work with the element of air. Just doing what you can. And it just feels so good if you can just imagine the scapula just releasing from your rib cage. Good. And now we can also do some fire. So if I wanted to, and if you wanted to, just sitting in this position, just taking a nice breath in the center, and then dropping over to the opposite side with a breath in, and a ha, breath in, ha, breath in, ha, 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 ha. Remember, fire is about getting the energy moving, getting you moving, and it's about going after what we really want in our life. So not only is it about our, fire getting blocked, and we can sometimes feel, agitated or aggravated, and you want to release that excess fire, but you also want to get fire moving in your body. And if you're feeling like low energy, doing a fire posture is so good. All right, so that's one of them. And then we know there's another one, that is the wood chopper, where you just you're going to act as though you're holding an axe, and then just bringing it down, swinging it through your legs. Now, because I'm sitting on a stool, of course you are only going to go so far, right? So nice breath in, and a ha, breath in, ha, breath in, ha, breath in, ha. And you want to do that at least 9 times. All right, now some other modifications that you can use. Maybe you don't need a stool. So another modification is you want to use a bolster. Let's back up so you can actually see. You can find a beautiful environment like I've been able to find for this particular video. And what you're doing is you want to make sure that when you are doing a squat, that your feet are staying flat. See how flat? That means that you're leaving your heels on the ground and you're going to a squat. You never want to be doing this. It's really bad for your knees. So you want to use a bolster where you just put your heels up, and you'll find that it's just so easy to go into your squat. Okay, so that's another modification. And now, just want to demonstrate using a little bit of sound while we're in this posture and some rocking motion. Now, whenever we're going into a squat, the thing that we're really working with is all of our involuntary muscle contractions. So if you think about the digestion and how important it is to maintain overall health, is that when we're going into a squat, we're bringing all of our organ systems together. So you can just feel that as you're sitting in the squat, and hopefully you're just following along with me and just doing what I do. And now we start to use sound. When we make sound inside of our head, well, for example, just take your hands and put them on your head for a moment and just hum. And change the pitch. Or and you'll start to feel that there's a vibration in the bones. So that sound actually is a vibration. So from here, going from a preparatory squat, we can just simply take our elbows and place them inside our knees, and hands in prayer position. Just do some rocking and some humming. When you first start doing these, you'll probably start feeling the muscles in the front of your legs, the back of your legs may feel a little bit challenged. Might start to feel a little sore. And if that happens, you just simply come up out of your squat. And the way that you want to do that is just put your fingertips down and bring your buttocks up very slowly. You want to avoid any head rush. Okay? All right, so once you come up out of the squat, when your muscles are bothering you just a little bit, you just want to shake out your legs a little bit, and then you go right back into it. So I always use the preparatory squat whenever I'm doing the narrow squat. Just coming down again. And this time what I'm going to do is go into a squat and squeeze. Just bringing my arms around, and I can hold my wrist, and I want to just go in a circular motion. I can go in the opposite direction. So you've got a lot of variation. It's nothing about perfection. This will certainly help digestion. Anybody has any constipation, this is the squat to do. Squat and squeeze, rocking back and forth. And now I want to take a nice breath in, and I'm going to just squeeze my knees together and resist at the same time. Breath in, and then exhale. Another breath in, and exhale. A breath in, and exhale. Breath in, and exhale. And when you exhale, your exhalation can be like a ha, 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 And from here, just you can remain in a squatted position, just taking your hands, the one that we demonstrated in the chair, and just give it a nice little twist. And the more you do these, the more you're going to find that your muscles actually cooperate better with you, taking your hands and putting them over your head. Just aware of the breath. And rolling up again, and we'll shake it out. Now, most important is that we're looking to find a balance of all the elements when we are doing Polarity Yoga. So I'm going to go into a posture. We're going to bring a little bit of earth and stability, go into the pyramid, and just do a little bit of bouncing. And the bouncing takes a lot of the stress off of your thighs. And most important is that you don't want to find yourself all bent over like this, but more working at as if you are rooting your coccyx bone into the earth. So just working at keeping your spine as straight as you can. A little bit of bounce. And by the way, the clothes that you want to wear can be anything as long as they're loose, so that when you're going into a squat, you have room in your clothes together. Okay, so again, from the pyramid, we can go right into bringing the shoulder forward and looking forward. Breath in. And then you can just start to turn. You can look over the opposite shoulder or the same shoulder. A lot of variation. Just do what your body's telling you to do, because your body knows. It's the wisdom of your body. Your body knows what it requires. All right, now we'll bring a little bit of fire into this session here. We're going to take our fingers, and this is your fire finger, your second finger. Okay, and just take that. You're going to hook it right underneath the arch of your foot, and in the arch of your foot, it actually connects to the umbilicus, which is about fire. And just a little more information: the ear canal is also about fire. So we'll do that at the end when we go into our seated postures. Now, just bending your knees, taking your fingers, hooking them right underneath your soles of your feet, and go into a squat. And now, as you just raise your buttocks, a nice stretch to the back of your legs, and then drop with a ha. 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 All right. You can do that up to 9 times or a little bit more, and it's a nice release for fire. It's also working with your thighs and to strengthen and loosen also your thighs. And you probably start to feel this in your hips by now. And if you think about Polarity Yoga or polarity in itself, our energy can get blocked, particularly in the joints. And the joints are actually a lot about ether as well. So we want to start opening up. And ether is the element that all the other elements flow within. So we want to keep that element open so that all the other energies can flow. I will bring in a little more fire, and we'll go into a wood chopper from a standing position. Just raising your arms, nice breath in. Your feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart. Now remember to bend your knees, that's important. Nice breath in. Ha! 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 Doing this about 9 times. Ha! 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 Beautiful. And now, when you do fire, you want to bring in the element of air. And that's easy enough to do. We're going to just raise our arms above our head. Imagine that we are hanging from any one of the tree branches and feet a little bit about shoulder width apart. Just nice and relaxed and allow your body to sway. Now, if you can hang from a door jamb, great, it opens up the spine. And throughout the day as we are walking, what happens is our vertebrae begin to settle. We actually get shorter. So you want to feel longer, you want to keep your spine nice and open, and just reaching to the heavens. And here, just imagine that you're bringing the energy down to cleanse all of your chakras, your aura, and a nice. And a little more Tai Chi, but you can bring your hand to the Dantian, which is just below your navel, and just imagine warming the energy. You can do a little circular motion. Nice, bringing the energy to the center. Okay, good job. We'll do a little bit more of the element of air right now, and that is, we're going to find the V in our ribs here, and you just take your fingertips and curl them up and under. So just take your fingers for now and just push them so you're feeling the diaphragm muscle underneath your ribs. And what we're going to do is we're going to lean over with an expressive ha. But before we do that, what I'd like you to do is just notice where your breath is coming down to. So when you take a breath, where does it stop? You know, is it somewhere in here? Sometimes people's breath will stop here. That's not so good. And you want to get it to keep coming down. And once we do the diaphragm release work, you're going to find that your breath drops a lot lower. So just be aware of where your breath is coming into right now. So taking your fingertips, curling them under, and you inhale, push in, and keep that pressure in there so you can release the muscle. And then an expressive ha, bending forward to give it even a deeper push. Ha! Sliding your fingers down. Ha! A little bit more. Ha! And a little bit more. Ha! Good job. Okay. Now I want to demonstrate a couple where we're laying down, and from a laying down position, we'll then go into our seated position, which is the way that we'll complete our video. Okay? All right, so when we lay down, we're going to go into what's called the Seesaw rock, where you're rocking on your spine, and that has a lot to do with the element of water, but also fire. So it can be stimulating to energy, but also very supportive to the nervous system. And you see little kids do things like this all day long. So just get yourself seated on your mat. You can cross your ankles if you wish. Hands on the outside of your legs or the inside, and that actually reflexes to your neck and starts to relax the muscles of your neck depending on where your hands are. So you may want to do a little bit on both sides. And just begin to rock. And this can be a lot of fun. Actually have a feeling of feeling like a kid. You know, Dr. Stone, who founded Polarity Therapy and Polarity Yoga, actually lived well into his 80s and still doing Polarity Yoga. So he kept his body, what he called maintaining a spring in your step, which is really important as we age. Okay, and from here, you can just roll over, put your face down, and we're going to now begin to pump the sacrum. And pumping the sacrum is again working with the cerebral spinal fluid to get it to move up through the spine. You see little kids do this when they're watching TV and they're relaxing. And so we're going to do this and start to relax and bring the energy down. Again, we're dealing with the element of water. Water is all about our ability to relax and experience emotion in a very balanced way. So head face down and resting on your hands. And we'll take our feet and begin to just crisscross. And you can do that for a minute or two. When you come up, if you want, you can just stay on your knees, go into child's pose. Nice stretch to the spine, the shoulders. As we prepare to go into our posture. And these postures can be done either seated or in a squat, depending on how ambitious you're feeling. I like to, at the end, just start going into a seated position so that I can just relax for the end of the Polarity session, Polarity Yoga. It's all about, you know, just remember intention. It's not about being uncomfortable ever. All right, now, in the seated position, we'll go into using the head, what's called head molding. So you're taking your hands and you're just clasping them together. Now, all of the sutures in our head are movable. That's what they have discovered, is that the bones in our head can actually move. So you just want to take the heel of your hand, giving it a nice squeeze, and and remember to follow your body. You know, as I was just doing that, there was a period where I was really feeling a vibration and I wanted to hold it longer. Do that. Okay, trust the wisdom of your body. All right, now we want to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, but also release the energy around the eyes. And if you feel the bone around your eyes, it's the orbital ridge. And this relieves eye tension. We can have some tender points. And so just taking your thumbs, placing them underneath the orbital ridge, and just a hum. Remember, the sound It's a vibration. It'll vibrate the bones. It'll vibrate any energy that's blocked. And then just moving your thumbs around to, just working your way out to along the orbital ridge. Okay, so my points were a couple like right in the middle that were pretty tender. And when I feel that, and then I start to feel the energy breaking up in my thumb as my thumb is holding, I may want to hold that a little bit longer. So again, do what your body wants to do. And now we're going to place our finger inside the ear canal and just lightly pressing up against the wall inside your ear. And another humming. And then just do some stretching, just pulling your ear down. Remember, the ear canal reflexes to the navel, the sole of the foot. This is all the element of fire. You want to release it in your head. The ears also have little sub-chakras and a lot of old information if you think about it. So just pulling the energy out is always good. Okay, you're basically giving yourself a little mini polarity session when you do polarity with yourself. Okay, and now we'll go into the element of ether, and there's the wise man squat that you have previously learned, and that is taking your index finger, placing it over your eye, your second finger over your nose, your third finger over the corner of your mouth, and your pinky, just let it rest wherever, and your thumbs inside of your ear canal. And what that does is it brings you inside. So it's as if whatever's happening on the outside just doesn't even matter. Get your fingers positioned, and then we'll just sit for a moment, experience the space outside of your body and inside of your body. And as you sit in an ether posture, using any of them, it starts to harmonize all of the energy that you have just moved. So now we can just sit in a lower position, just resting your hands on your knees. It's more meditative. Just doing some polarity yoga and then going into a meditation is just so relaxing, so peaceful. It just prepares your mind and your body to experience quiet, just to be in the moment. And now you can change the current by taking your right hand and placing it on your ankle and your left hand on your opposite ankle. This is a bipolar contact, which just changes the currents in your body. And just remain with your eyes closed in the seated position, and now contract from your internal muscles from the base of your torso all the way up as you breathe in, all the way up to your third eye. Hold the breath for about 10 seconds. And what you're doing is you're clearing the chakras. Gently exhale, and we'll do that again. Breath from the base of your torso all the way up, contracting all of your muscles. And again, hold. The stillness of breath is the still point. And now imagine yourself surrounded in the most divine light. Perceive in its perfection your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your third chakra, your second chakra, your base chakra. And bring the light up through the clear base back to your third eye and back to your heart. Bring the light down through your crown, down the clear spine and out your base. Allow this light to extend below your feet and clear your aura from the spine out. Pay particular attention to the fourth heart layer, the sixth beautiful pastel colored layer, the seventh silver beaded layer. Activate your Ida and Pingala base to second, second to third, third to heart, heart to throat, throat to third eye, and beyond. And activate your spiraling air pattern, a spiraling pattern around your torso, going so fast, straight up the center of your spine. Just want to thank you for joining me here today. Namaste. And for anybody that is interested in teaching Polarity Yoga to groups of people to support balance, just email me and I will give you the instruction of what needs to happen from here and how we can make it happen for you. Okay? Blessings, and thank you for joining me for Polarity Yoga. May you be balanced and healthy. Okay, and I hope that you enjoyed the Polarity Yoga and that you continue to come back to the video where you can just simply practice any part of it. For those of you who would prefer to have the book, I have a book that's available on Amazon with most of the Polarity Yoga postures, where you can just go ahead and read them. It might be an easier reference than coming back to the video. The video helps you to get familiar with the postures before you're actually looking at the book. So if you had the book first, the video is useful. If you have the video first, the book is useful as well. Okay, you can find that link down below. Many blessings to you, and thanks for being here with me today. Tina Brigitini.